Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining me on the learning journey. Today, I have Beth who is going to co present with me. It promises to be an informative session. We're going to talk about investments in early childhood education, and this is a topic that is very dear to me. I have worked in the field, and I must say that I'm always an advocate for investment in early childhood education and care. I'll pass it over to Beth at this time.
Thanks, Rohan. It is a pleasure for me to engage in this presentation titled, A Case for Investments in Early Childhood Education and Care. I would like to begin by talking about a bit of history. Let me say, the tenets for equality were established in the USA Declaration of Independence over 250 years ago. Despite this written declaration for equality, there remains a vast disparity between the outcomes of whites and other ethnicities in the USA. According to Nelson, despite a series of constitutional amendments and judicial decisions that expanded and modernized our definition and practices of justice and equality, the negative consequences still exist today. On reflection, the legacy of injustice can also be connected to the lack of investment in early childhood education in marginalized communities. Not investing in early childhood and care is one of the main indicators for this underachievement, and this leads to limited lifetime opportunities. Oftentimes, policymakers have not critically reflected on the need to consider investing or the benefits of investing in high-quality early childhood education and care for all children. While many countries have created a centralized funding approach for education and social services, the USA has no such system for education and care. In the USA, states have the power to administer their own approach for public education. This approach has not created a seamless approach in efforts for a national sustained initiative to provide high-quality early childhood education and care for all children. Compounding any current or future crisis will be the role schools play in providing nutritional provisions for children and families. We are yet to evaluate the social and economic impact as it relates to COVID-19, and this evaluation could require a generational study. Adding to this complexity is the model of funding implemented for early childhood and care programs. For example, in the USA, the funding system of education reproduces inequality as central to the funding of schools in the USA is the use of property taxes. Therefore, neighborhoods that pay a higher tax rate have access to better schools based on the taxes paid. This means that communities with higher taxation will be able to spend more per capita on each student. On the contrary, lower property value means less funding per capita for students who live in these communities. While the property taxes for funding education is known, not much has been done to address it on a national scale. Hence, the reproduction of inequality continues. Importantly, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development continues to articulate for countries to invest in high-quality early childhood education and care. The central argument from the OECD is that investments in early childhood education bring about private benefits as well as substantial benefits to the society in relation to citizens contributing to the society and the lowering of social expenses. However, over the years, the United States education system excluded people of color from getting the needed support to ensure everyone would get the best start. In summary, there is a sound case for investing in education and care. In addition, investment leads to the eradication of poverty and better health outcomes for children. Combining education and care. The concept of combining education and care is often referred to as educare. The foundational idea is that education alone will not provide the support needed for children to maximize their full potential. Another perspective is that learning and education begins before formal education and requires multi-layers of support, which should be for families who are affected by poverty, etc. Another central principle surrounding education and care is the need to have the amalgamation or collaboration of key stakeholders and agencies to ensure that each child is supported regardless of social or cultural status. One thing that remains consistent in many articles is the need for all students to get the best possible start. According to the European Commission for Education and Culture, the formative years of children are important as this can be a predictor of children's life outcomes. The report from the Commission also stated that it is imperative to have quality and accessible programs connected to education and care to the success of children. The issue of care is also a central part as it is important for children to have access to the needed health services and other agencies that will support their well-being. Research has highlighted the need for early stimulation, proper nutrition, and a supportive environment for children to reach their milestones. This thought can be connected to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Let's remember children need to feel safe, love, and have a sense of belonging to thrive, develop, and actualize. Benefits of having an education and care system. According to the Norwegian University of Science and Technology, early stimulation starts at birth and babies should be stimulated to ensure they meet their milestones. In summary, babies who are not stimulated will not develop cognitively, emotionally, and socially. Let me end this segment by saying investment in education and care is an essential aspect of nation building. Thanks for watching. I will turn it over to Rohan for his final comments. Over to you, Rohan.
Thanks, Beth, for that outstanding presentation. Some very important points were highlighted. For example, the initial investment made now will reduce social cost in the future. And various studies have highlighted that when you invest in early childhood education, there are substantial rewards for the generation that is getting the benefit, as well as for future generations. That's all for now, and thanks for listening and watching this video.